If I go buy the drinks everyone asked for, I might finally be able to take a break. Until then, I'll just have to keep pushing through. Actually, I can't freely move the left half of my body. When I was a sophomore in high school, I belonged to the softball team. On my way to a game, I got involved in a traffic accident. I can't recall the details very well, but that accident changed my life. Although I managed to walk again through daily rehabilitation, my left side remains immobile, so I can't let go of my cane. Nobody would have imagined that at this age I would be living a life dependent on a cane. However, once I accepted this reality, I realized that somehow things can work out. I bought drinks for everyone at the shop and returned to the entrance where my family was supposed to be waiting. But, nobody's here? That's odd. There was no sign of them at the spot where they were supposed to be waiting. I'm sure this is the right place. I placed the drinks I was carrying on a sofa and looked around the entrance. Still, I couldn't find the three of them anywhere. Glancing towards the security checkpoint, they had already lined up there. To be precise, they were right in the middle of being screened. Oh, what a situation! My dad had arranged all of our plane tickets. The fact that he was getting screened without me meant I couldn't board the same flight. Even if I lined up then, I would probably just be turned away. Waiting for my dad to finish his screening, I took out my smartphone and called him. Hello? I've bought the drinks and come back? I completely forgot about you. Sorry about that. You can drink all the drinks you bought and feel free to go home and do as you please. It was a brief exchange, but the phone call ended there. So, I was left behind after all. I felt a bit disappointed, but since this kind of treatment is a common occurrence, I didn't dwell on it. Dad, Mom, and Maggie, they're always like this. You don't get angry at anything lately, do you? Maybe the accident messed up your head a bit. You used to be quick-tempered, taking everything seriously. Maybe you've mellowed out as a person. I think that's true. Since the accident, it's as if I've changed. I no longer feel anger. It doesn't feel real, like it's a story happening far away. The doctor explained the nuances of my emotional state, but I don't remember much. Thinking back, I realized that the after effects of the accident have made it so I can never play softball again, something I had always put my all into. In such moments, most people might give up or feel a sense of despair. But no such feelings arose in me. All right, that's how it is, or, well, what should I do now was all that came to mind. Everything felt as if it was someone else's problem. So, when I was left behind at the airport while I went to buy drinks, I wasn't perturbed. I immediately went to the airline counter nearby to ensure I could reach my destination. The male staff at the reception was very kind and attentive, taking care of everything from luggage to boarding procedures. While feeling grateful to him, I managed to pass through the security check successfully. Although I missed the flight I had originally planned to take, I couldn't give up on the hotel at my destination, so I immediately looked for the earliest available flight and bought a ticket. I had already contacted the hotel about my stay, and I had no intention of canceling. In fact, canceling wasn't even an option for me. Honestly, it was too much trouble to go back home. Despite the extra expense, I really wanted to achieve my goal since I had come this far. Thanks to the thorough support of the airport staff, I finished the security check smoothly and was guided to the boarding gate with assistance for my luggage. As I was enjoying some relaxed time near the gate, my smartphone started ringing. The calls were relentless, and the missed call log just kept increasing. Wow, so many calls coming in. It's kind of scary. Are you okay, Mom? Sorry. Here's my ticket. Everything checks out, thank you. Are you sure you're okay with your phone? Ahaha. It's hard to talk on the phone while using a cane. Sorry. I see. I'm planning to call back once I get to my destination. Thank you for your concern. Despite the odd conversation, I put away my smartphone to board the plane. As I said to the concerned airport staff, I planned to call back after arriving, which I thought would be no problem. I settled into the seat indicated on my ticket, set my smartphone to airplane mode, which had been ringing incessantly, and decided to enjoy my journey through the skies. 2 hours later, I safely arrived at my destination and sat down on a bench at the luggage claim, waiting for my checked baggage. I need to make that call back. Tentatively, I turned off airplane mode on my smartphone. Then, I muttered, no way. I've never seen more than 50 missed calls before. Dad, Mom, and even Maggie, who rarely contacts me, had left an incredible number of calls, 57 in total. Maybe I'm more popular than I thought. Hello, Dad? What's up? Why didn't you answer your phone? Anyway, where are you now? I'm at the airport of my destination. You didn't go back home? That's good then. Come here quickly. What happened? Everything's a mess. When we tried to check into the hotel we booked, they asked for a way higher rate than expected, and we're in trouble. I see. That could happen. I don't know the details, but they said you're involved somehow, and I'm really confused. Please come quickly. Our plans are ruined if you don't. Got it. I'll head there as soon as I pick up my luggage, so wait for me. After hanging up, I collected my luggage and headed towards the taxi stand. I felt conflicted. Something didn't sit right with me. Dad, who had been acting like he didn't need me just a while ago, was now suddenly asking for my help when his own situation turned disadvantageous. Anyone would think the same under such treatment. With no particular reason to hurry, I slowly made my way to the taxi stand. Mom, let me help you with your luggage. Thank you. Shall I put it in the trunk? Yes, thank you. As I slowly approached the taxi, the driver swiftly jumped out of the car, took my luggage, and quickly loaded it into the trunk. I deeply felt that there are kind people in this world. My family is nothing like them. Where to? Please take me to the Royal Bayside Hotel. Understood. By the way, did you come here alone? Yes, that's right. You might have wanted to come with your family or someone. I'm sorry if that sounds rude. Right. Haha. Actually, I was supposed to come with my family, but there was a little misunderstanding. Is that so? That must have been tough. Well, I have no obligation to cover for them. Explaining the whole situation to the taxi driver wouldn't change anything. While responding lightly, I decided to take a short rest in the taxi. My family has always given me the impression of being a very strict household. When I was young, my parents were very, very strict. Now, they spoil my sister Maggie so much that I sometimes wonder if we are really sisters. But back then, I used to envy other families for how strict ours was. My dad was a professional softball player, a celebrity known by everyone. I still remember feeling secretly proud whenever people talked about my dad at school. Listen, Cheryl, you're going to surpass me. You have a natural talent. You must become a great player. Can you do it? This was my dad's usual phrase. As for my mom, you've inherited your father's excellent athletic skills. But aren't you bad at studying? It would have been nice if you had taken after me in that aspect, my mom said, sounding dissatisfied. Hearing this, my dad responded, if you had been more like your mom, you may have more options. But you're like me, and you're not good at studying. That's a problem. You have to work hard to become a professional softball player that's better than me. That's right. You're our child anyway, so you should naturally have that talent. It would be strange otherwise, my mom would always say in agreement with him. Both of my parents were incredibly prideful. The atmosphere at home was such that they couldn't accept their child being anything but outstanding in at least one aspect compared to others. They emitted an aura that dictated daily, extraordinary efforts to reach that level. At the time, I took their words at face value without truly understanding their real meaning. As an adult, I finally realized that their educational approach was more about satisfying their own egos. From elementary to high school, my parents never allowed me to freely play with friends, insisting that any spare time be spent training or practicing softball. My will was completely disregarded, and I was raised to be an obedient child who followed my father's words. So, when asked about my memories from elementary, middle, and high school, I struggle with how to respond. Looking back, all that remains in my memory are softball practices, games, and training. Other than that, the memories are filled with a harsh home environment and the oppressive feeling of never being praised, no matter how hard I tried. By the time I was in middle school, I was always irritable, like a kettle ready to boil over. I can't specifically say what was bothering me or what made me angry. I just disliked everything. Mom. Cheryl hit me. Waba. Stop that, Cheryl. Why would you hit her? Shut up. She keeps playing her games right next to me, disturbing my training. Don't get angry over such things. It's okay if she plays next to you, isn't it? What do you mean by such things? She has her own room. She should play there. Why does she have to play right next to me? Hey, just because you don't like it doesn't mean you can hit Maggie. Our house was like this every day. At that time, I was in my rebellious phase and felt very irritable. Naturally, I clashed with my dad and got hit every time. Hey, what was with today's game? A pitcher returning like that is the worst, Cheryl. Don't act so high and mighty when you can't do it yourself. Say that one more time. Well, it's true. Dad, you always order me around. What's up with that? Do you even realize who you're talking to like that? This was a common scene in our household. Whenever I made a mistake in a game or practice, Dad would invariably complain. If I talked back, he would hit me without mercy. Objectively speaking, my family environment was abnormal. But at that time, I was so dominated by anger that I didn't feel scared. Due to my parents' excessive pride, I was never given any free time. Still, as a child, I understood that I was expected to meet those expectations. Even when I advanced to high school, the situation didn't change at all. Nothing but practice was required of me, and I couldn't even enjoy the meals I liked. I was put on a nutritionally managed diet and felt like I was treated merely as a tool for playing softball. Yet, I continued to work hard to meet my parents' expectations. To others, my daily life might have seemed like hell, but those days ended unexpectedly. On my way to a match, I was involved in a traffic accident. I'm sure the traffic light was green when I crossed. Even though I checked and was sure I could cross, I was hit by a truck. The bike I was riding was completely mangled, a stark testament to the severity of the crash. The police told me that everyone who witnessed the accident was deeply shocked. I consider it incredibly fortunate that I survived. However, I was left with permanent disability on my left side. This accident marked a turning point for me, as I no longer became upset over things. With this condition, I could no longer meet my parents' expectations. Strangely, I felt neither despair nor sadness. Everything seemed inconsequential, and I found it hard to think deeply about anything. Right after regaining consciousness, I overheard a conversation between my parents. She's finished. She's alive, but her path as a softball player is cut off. It seems so. But we still have Maggie. Unlike Cheryl, she can manage well enough in everything. Not just studies and sports, but she also has many other possibilities. Yes, we still have her. At that moment, something inside me burst. It was an odd sensation, more than fear or anger. Ah, these two are really in the wrong. That's when I finally understood. Since then, I felt guilty towards Maggie. After that day, my parents' obsession shifted from me to her. I finally arrived at the destination hotel. The taxi driver carefully unloaded my luggage. Have you forgotten anything? Would you like me to help you to the lobby? Oh, no, thank you. I can manage this myself. Understood. Then, I'll take my leave here. Please enjoy your trip. The driver sent me off with a cheerful smile. I thought to myself what a kind person he was as I slowly walked through the automatic doors into the hotel. Sis. you finally made it. Sis? Who? It was definitely directed at me. Sis. It's been a while since I've been called that. Then, Maggie rushed over and vigorously picked up my luggage. Really, Dad is the worst, isn't he? I'll carry the luggage. Cheryl, you missed the plane. That must have been tough. Well, at least you arrived safely. Aren't you tired? Oh? They have the same faces as the family I know, but it's like they're completely different people inside. These people, who are talking to me so artificially, what happened to them? No, I really think I did something bad. Really? It's okay. I'm not worried about it. Dad, leaving your daughter behind is just terrible, isn't it? Are you in a position to blame me? Both of you, this isn't the time to talk about that. Let's go to the front desk first. We need to let them know Sias has arrived. Mizu Cheryl, welcome. It's great to see you're doing well. Matthew, thank you for taking care of us. The person who rushed over after hearing the commotion from the family-like people was Matthew Perry. He is the manager of Royal Bayside Hotel. Please make yourself at home and relax as if you were at your own house. If there is anything you need, please do not hesitate to ask. Ahaha. I couldn't possibly impose that much. My son Ryan arrived here yesterday, and he's looking forward to meeting you. Ryan is? That's wonderful. I'm sure he must have been busy with college. No, I wish he would study more seriously, but I don't feel much enthusiasm from him. However, when he found out you're coming, he suddenly insisted, I'll go even if I have to take a break. That's just like him. Matthew speaks in a familiar tone. Indeed, we have actually known each other for a while. To put it simply, I was slightly involved in the management of this hotel. In fact, his son Ryan and I were classmates and teammates from middle to high school. Even when I was bedridden in the hospital, unable to get up, he would come to see me every day without fail, a truly good friend. He would tell me about various things happening at school, and even after I was told by doctors that I could no longer play softball, he treated me exactly the same as before the accident, which I really appreciated. As I struggled with my rehabilitation, he would passionately encourage me, saying, If you ever need anything, just let me know. I'll support you with all my might. Yet, oddly enough, he also came to me with his own problems almost daily, a rather curious guy in that respect. During my hospital stay, I heard from him that the hotel my father was assigned to manage was having a tough time. At that time, still unable to move my body as I wished, I spontaneously began to study various subjects. Officially, it was for future purposes, but in reality, it was just to relieve boredom. Are you, by any chance, projecting yourself and your father onto each other? Eh? What do you mean by that? I don't understand. Ryan has a strangely sharp intuition. He's the kind of person who, without any concrete proof, suddenly hits the nail on the head, a bit unnerving at times. I heard you've been studying recently. I don't understand the difficult stuff, though. Well, yes. I've been studying marketing, but I've just started, so I don't quite understand it myself yet. Wow, what's marketing? Listening to your father's story made me think. Maybe it's a good idea to innovate in how things are promoted and sold. It's like when you're trying to secure a starting position, you have to sell yourself, right? That's right. If I don't showcase what I can do in the next game, I'll quickly be off the starting lineup. Our school is known for being competitive. Yeah, I'm still learning, so I can't explain it well yet, but I think it's important to clearly showcase our strengths. Foon. You're still hospitalized for a while, right? Once you're a bit more recovered, try talking directly to my dad. I really don't get the complicated stuff. And frankly, it's a hassle to listen and then relay it to him. You're the one who brought it up. It's not a consultation, it's just a vent. If I understood it all, I'd do it myself from the start. That's true. Right? This was what led Ryan to introduce me to his father, Matthew. It ended up being after I was discharged from the hospital, but there was still room for improvement. Matthew and I had many discussions about the future management strategy of the hotel. Thanks to our efforts, the hotel's popularity soared, becoming a hot topic on social media and greatly increasing guest traffic. I am truly grateful. If the dire management situation had continued even a year longer, I was seriously considering something drastic for the whole family. Please don't even joke about that. But it's really great that we managed to turn things around. Yes. I can't thank you enough. You are so young yet you think of such excellent business strategies. That's too kind of you to say. If you get well, please visit our hotel. Ah, that. Yes, I would be glad to visit. I'll keep up with my rehabilitation for that reason, I replied with a smile, but Matthew had a complicated expression. However, I had found a new goal. It was a modest one, to stay at the hotel I had helped manage. That goal became my motivation to live. Rehabilitation was tough, but I continued with a positive mindset. Thanks to that, my body has recovered enough that I can walk short distances on my own. I have something I'd like to confirm here, Matthew began as he started the conversation. Surprisingly, we were not led to a guest room but to the manager's office instead. The front desk staff would take my luggage to the room I had booked. It was my first time at such a formal hotel, but it was incredibly comfortable. Why didn't your family come together with you? Your father initially said, "She won't come," didn't he? No, I believe I said. "She hasn't come yet." My father tried to correct him. Foon? It's impossible for us to forget our dear daughter. It was just a matter of seat availability. She had to take a different flight. I was really worried, sis. I'm relieved that you arrived safely. I silently observed the three of them continue their obviously staged conversation. Matthew turned to me and asked calmly, "Your family says so, but do you confirm their story?" "Well, I could let that slide," I responded. "And what do you mean by that?" "The three of them said they were thirsty, so they asked me to buy drinks from the store. Naturally, it takes me longer to walk. When I got back, all three were already at the security checkpoint." "What do you mean by already?" Matthew looked at them with an intensity I had never seen before. There's a certain gravity when a usually calm person gets angry. No, we thought we'd go through security first," one stammered. "Dad, you know you can't get through the security checkpoint without a ticket." "He simply forgot, really." "Ah, my bad. I mistakenly thought I had already given Cheryl her ticket. It seems I must correct you." Matthew interrupted my parents' attempts to justify themselves. "Until I took over, it appeared to me that you were speaking more assertively to our front desk staff. However, the moment you knew I was acquainted with your daughter, the story seemed to change, didn't it?" "Well, about that. Thanks to your daughter's cooperation, our hotel has become a fully private club. It is possible to register as a member on the day of your stay. But in that case, there is a regulation that a first-time annual fee of $20,000 must be paid," he explained. "That amount is different from what we were told before." "Mom, let's stop this. But, with all due respect, it does not feel to me like MS. Cheryl's family." "What did you say?" "I cannot understand how you could treat your child, who has overcome numerous difficulties and made great efforts, in such a way. It doesn't seem like something a parent would say to their precious child. This is an issue within our family. An outsider like you shouldn't interfere. Indeed, I shouldn't be meddling in another family's personal matters. That's why I prefaced my remarks by acknowledging they might be rude." "What is this all about?" "Enough. The special membership price we offered you was out of gratitude towards your daughter. It was solely for her, not for you, and the way you treat her does not befit a family." Matthew then continued firmly, "Please leave immediately. We will extend our hospitality only to Mrs. Cheryl Green at this hotel. Furthermore, we ask that you refrain from using our services in the future." My father, mother, and Maggie were escorted out of the room by some robust men who had appeared seemingly out of nowhere. After watching them leave, Matthew quickly turned to me and respectfully said, "Please forgive any disrespect the hotel has shown until now. There were certain matters that the hotel could not compromise on." Ahaha, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter to me either way. So what does that mean exactly? Foon, how should I put it? It's like, the timing is just right. I'm not particularly shocked, but this incident has made me feel that whether those three are with me or not, it doesn't really matter anymore. I see. Yes. After I stretch my wings here for a bit, I might consider starting to live on my own. I answered with a light smile. I hadn't thought about it in detail, nor was I absolutely determined to do it. Either way, it wouldn't bother me. That's how I had felt from the beginning. After leaving the manager's office, the pair of robust men who had appeared earlier somehow escorted me to the room I had booked. We were surprised to find out that you were the savior of this hotel. Honestly, I had imagined someone older. Sorry I didn't meet your expectations. Ahaha. Not at all. We have the manager's approval, and during your stay, we are dedicated to supporting you wholeheartedly. Please let us know if there's anything you need. Wait a second. Isn't this a bit too much enthusiasm? The push is quite strong. It seems that the hotel staff know about me. I was utterly bewildered as I encountered staff members treating me very politely or reaching out for a handshake, something I had never experienced before and didn't know how to handle. Noticing my discomfort, the men in black acted like bodyguards, protecting me from the staff. What? What's this situation? It felt like being treated like a Hollywood star. Just when I finally sat down on the sofa, thinking I could rest, a visitor came to the room. Ah. I thought I was finally going to have some rest. Yes, come in? As the door opened, a familiar voice called out, "Hey, best friend, how's it going?" Ryan. Wow, it's been a while. I took time off just for you. You should be grateful. You just wanted a break from school, didn't you? Don't point that out. Hey, I heard your parents left you at the airport? That's hilarious. It's a seriously funny story, right? They really did leave me. I'm just glad I didn't end up at the lost and found. You're not a kid anymore. No lost and found for you. Imagine being called over the airport PA system. Mizu Cheryl Green from so-and-so is at the lost and found. Please come to pick her up. That would be a riot. Stop it. I'm laughing so hard it's making me even more tired. Ryan's absurd jokes brought a spontaneous laugh out of me. Reuniting with my best friend like this was refreshing enough to make me forget my fatigue. Softball was everything to me. When I lost that crucial part of my life and felt I had lost my purpose, Ryan was the only one who continuously cared for me as Cheryl Green. No typical high school student would think of introducing another to his own hotel manager father. Even more bizarre, the father listened to the ideas of an inexperienced amateur. Few people would seriously consider a high school student's plan to revive a nearly bankrupt hotel. But I believe there was a solid trust between Ryan and his father, and they must have always cared about me too. I was truly fortunate to have such a good friend. It was a peaceful afternoon when I thought about these things. The stay at the hotel was supposed to be for a week. However, I've been enjoying the single life for a while thanks to some complicated job posting rules, but having you here, Cheryl, has been a big help. Why is it? I wonder. I'm now living with Matthew. Initially, he seemed very formal and strict, but at home, he turned out to be surprisingly easygoing and warm. Rely on me more. Think of me as your father if that helps. Why don't we just live together here, he suggested. Almost like a confession, which startled me at first. However, living with him turned out to be surprisingly comfortable. He has a calm demeanor, never imposes anything on me, making it incredibly easy to feel at home. I heard something through the grapevine, Cheryl. Feel free to ignore this, but your sister seems to have been rejected for a school recommendation. News travels fast, huh? Apparently, her bad attitude was witnessed by other people. I don't know the details, but it seems it caused quite a backlash. Yes, it sounds like everything club activities, school grades, friendships has been going terribly. Is it karma, maybe? Are you enjoying her misfortune? No, not really. You sound quite detached even though it's about your own sister. They say the opposite of love is indifference. So no, not really. Ooh, scary. I'd better work hard not to be thought of that way. Ah, by the way, is today's meeting at 4 p.m.? Yes, that's right. I've arranged for a ride, so don't worry. I am currently working as a freelancer, without belonging to any specific organization, continuing my work freely. I'm enjoying this peculiar and delightful living arrangement with my new family. It seems my best friend will visit again by the end of the year. But to make sure Matthew can rest well, I need to remind my friend to absolutely keep quiet at night.